everyone, it's me Cheryl. I hope you're all okay. Well, it's Wednesday afternoon. It's a bit dull and it has been drizzling earlier, but it's not cold. I was going to do a video yesterday but didn't because I was doing housework. I was really determined to do housework. Took longer than I thought. I went to town this morning primarily to go to the walk-in salon and get my hair trimmed. You probably can't really tell, but I just needed the dead ends off because it was starting to feel static. While I was there, I went to the library and returned some books and an audiobook. Yeah, one of the books, it was a crochet book, and I decided I'd go and buy it, and I found a seller on eBay, and the book itself was only £2.71, and it said location Rossendale, which is Lancashire. It was dispatched on the 17th of October. I got the email saying estimated delivery Thursday the 16th to Monday the 20th of October. I got an email then the next day saying dispatch 17th of October, and I thought, okay, good, couple of days, no problem. It's now the 29th of October and it's still not here, so I've contacted the seller and said, hey up, what's going on? I mean, really, from Lancashire? Away. I mean, you could print the book off, right, at the publishers, and you could walk from Lancashire in the time it's well, it's not arrived yet, has it? So yeah, so I'm a bit miffed about that. I mean, if it said it was abroad or something like that, then I'd mentally recalculate, oh yeah, it won't be here for like a month or so, fine, but no. I'm making absolutely amazing progress with my sock, although I didn't do any yesterday and today because I've done one of them things again. I'll tell you why in a moment. So this is it thus far. So there's the corner, the heel, and this is the tube. Do you know, I really thought Pam Chatfield genuinely had some of these DPN tubes, right? And I thought it had a red, you see this is gold outer, I thought it was red, and I wasn't sure whether it was black or blue. Now if I'd consigned it to memory, I would have thought, oh, my old school uniform, red jumper, red navy blue skirt, and I would have been right. But then Pam was talking about these the other day on her video, and I thought she already had some. And no, she hadn't, she'd just been talking about them. That's probably why I got it, and then I probably went to Google Images, although I don't remember that first time. Although I did the other day, I typed in red DPN tubes, and sure enough I saw the ones that I'd seen, thinking Pam had already got them. And yeah, they go like this, your project just sticks up there like that. And yeah, I did have an elastic band on there because it can pop out a bit, so you have to be careful. So I just put an elastic band around the width there like that. But it slides out. You get 3 in a pack. 2 of them have holes. Yeah, where am I? There, 2 of them have holes like this, slits in it, and one of them is solid, just purely for storage. There we are. Oh yeah, there's one of my DPNs, and there's these ones. So this part of the sock. So okay, let's put it upright as if I'm going to wear it. There we go. That makes sense, doesn't it? And that looks like a mouth. Hello, I'm a puppet mouth. Sorry, grow up, Cheryl. Yeah, anyway, right. Somebody asked me, and I think in the last video, and I haven't got around to replying yet, which DPNs are better, wooden or metal. I like them both. They're both absolutely fantastic. It's more to do with the size for me. I've been happily working on these until I got to the heel, and then I thought, when I read the pattern and I saw what was happening and what was going on, you're going to have various twin stitches, so it's going to be too big for the individual. I mean, these came in a pack of 6 anyway, so I suppose I could have put 5 into play and 1 active. I didn't want to mess about like that. I wasn't sure. It's just enough to work with 4, and I didn't even like working 3, so imagine working with 5 in the project. So what I did, just purely for the heel, I went over to my metal ones. Actually, I kept, where's the heel? these front ones here, which is the top of the foot, I just kept them ones there, and I just used the metal ones for turning the heel, just to give me a bit more width on there. And this is a 4-inch, so my metal one's a 6-inch, so at least you get some idea of that. But yeah, that's coming on well. I don't know how far to make it, because I know I did my sock template, but if I had to adjust that for the gauge, to, you know, for stretching, so it'll fit on my ankle a bit tighter, I need to do the same for the length, because surely that'll stretch lengthways. So I can't imagine taking the whole sock to the full part of my foot template. Well, it won't, I'll do the toe, but you know what I mean. I might have to give it a bit negative ease, is that the word? Yeah, I'm thinking of that. Anyway, there's those tubies. Look exactly the same, don't they? But the black one is slightly thinner than the gold one, so I can slot inside it. Something so simple. Anyway, my lady, no, not my lady. My friend from Knit and Natter, one of the ladies, she phoned me on Monday, because I'm not going tomorrow because it's half term, and CJ's not at the day centre tomorrow, so there's just him and I. And she asked me, because she saw these, I showed her the socks. She didn't do cartwheels though. Thought she'd do cartwheels. I think it was asking a bit much. Anyway, she was really pleased and she gave me a handshake. And she was really impressed with these DPN tubes. So she called me on Monday and asking me if I would order some for her, because she doesn't have a computer at all. Because if she did, she'd just do it herself, because she's that way inclined. She's very independent. So yeah. So I said, yeah, sure, no problem. Anyway, they arrived today, so I'll take them. Next time I go in, I'll take them and I'll give her them. But anyway, I've got a hair. So anyway, why I decided to just suddenly stop doing the sock for the moment, yesterday, day before, yesterday, I'm losing my track of my days, it's because I really want to make a second hat for CJ, because the one I made him based on the, I think it was Little Man, Big Man, Chunky Hat pattern, it's on Ravelry, it's free. It said 52 stitches on 8mm needles, which is what I did, and 52 is a bit big. I used hat elastic and it's still floppy. So I thought 50 might be a bit big still, so I'll go down to 48. And 48 is a fantastic number because of its divisibility when you come to do the crown, because it can divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24 and itself, and it's wonderful. All them combinations for a crown. So you can either have a really scrunchy crown where you do few decreases, or you can have it more spaced out so it looks flatter. It goes up gradually. So yeah, I was thinking in that term, but I also want to make an E-flap hat, and I found a fantastic pattern which I bought, and it's a Sirdar pattern, I think. Is it? Yeah, Sirdar. It's this one up here. This lady, she's wearing a helmet hat, and I thought, oh, I like that. It's just garter stitch on the E-flaps and around the base, and then it's stockinette stitch. And so I came to read the pattern and not thinking much of it, apart from like 47 stitches. What an odd number. And that threw me, and I didn't like that. I need it even. And then I got to the end, and I know why there's a 47 stitch seam, the word seam, and I thought, oh, it's knit on the flat. Nah, I'm going to knit it on the round. That's what I expected to do. Surely it can't be hard knitting it on the round. Somebody's out there. Surely it can't be hard knitting that on the round. Oh wait, I mean, it's not. I'm trying to think where it is. It's hiding. So I did the E-flaps. No problem. Garter stitch E-flaps, not a problem whatsoever. I come to like join it all together for the round. So I did my first little section of the cast on stitches, knit across to the E-flap, knit across the E-flap, sorry, do the large part of the cast on stitches, knit across the other E-flap and do the remaining small cast on stitches, join them together, went in the round. When I come to go second time around, there was a big gap between the E-flap and the cast on stitches, and I can't remember which side, but it was on both of them. And I thought, oh, you know the typical ladder gap you get? Oh, it was just right. So I pulled it back to the E-flap, started again with the cast on, and I did it 3 times, still the same. And I was really tugging that yarn tight, and it was driving me nuts. So I thought, what am I going to do? So I sat on it for a bit, and that's mainly what took the time, planning. I thought, provisional cast on. I'll do, see this bit, this garter stitch bit first. If I do that bit first and work downwards, and then basically cast off, but keep the A-flap stitches there, and then just individually work back and forth on them, that'll have that bit. And then with a provisional cast on, I can turn around and go back the other way in the other colour. Good idea, yeah? Well, it is in theory, and I give myself an extra round, so to say, of the black yarn, so I could make any adjustments, pulling in together, because I knew that although I was joining in the round in one direction, when I was coming back the other way, I'd need to join again in the round. And so basically I've done that, and then I would start in the second colour wide, triangled. That's it. So here it is so far. And it, where am I? So that's one of the E-flaps, and that's the other one. And it keeps flipping over on itself, and it's driving me mad. So it seriously needs blocking. So there you go. So they're the E-flaps and the hat, and I'm basically doing it stitched there now. So yeah, you can see a join, and I suppose if I did it the other way, you would have like, you'd still have a garter ear flap, you'd have a stockinette stitch, and then you would have a knit stitch, but you wouldn't have the join. So I suppose it could be a reversible hat, couldn't it? But I wanted it this way, and I thought, well, okay, that can actually be a feature, can't it? It doesn't necessarily have to be anything wrong, does it? It's just a feature. But it's the fact that I'm working around and this turning in on itself, and it's driving me mad. And that's all. It's just a fart around. Like, stop it. So I'll put that down for a bit. But that's because I went into town. The other thing I'm working on, I did stop the 10-stitch blanket, and I've started to do something in front of the TV, and it's crochet, which is, normally don't crochet in front of the TV. And it's like this here. Actually, I found, first of all, let me show you what I found ages ago on the internet. It was this. And I thought, oh, that looks like a nice shawl. And I was just going to use that. And I have actually been just using that, to be honest with you. But I decided to source the pattern. See the number up there, which has showed me it's actually Lion brand shawlette. But that looks kind of, compared with that, it looks different. Never mind. Anyway, I think I'm not using that yarn anyway. It's different. This is mohair silk mohair. Sorry. And is that it? I'm sure there's another instruction row, because I remember turning my nose up at it. That looks like the instruction row. Is that it? I'm sure there was a 4th sheet, but I've not been using it. Anyway, I've just been using that. And I'm on the bit where it's like the last 2 rows until you get to the trim. Ah, there is another row, I'm sure there is. Is there a trim? No, there isn't. I'm thinking of something else. What am I thinking of? And it's in that Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable, which certainly was unforgettable because the yarn severed for some reason. Just came out of the ball, and there was no tugging or anything like that. It was just in 2 separate pieces. But anyway, regardless, the yarn is absolutely gorgeous. You can see something trailing down there, can't you? Where is it? Oh, that'll be the join. The join from when the severed yarn. Oh, and that's the top bit. That's where that is. I'll sew that in soon. But it's actually worked this way. But it's absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous, that yarn. It's not very froggable yarn though, by the way, and the reason why I know that is because I started to do OVS. There's a pattern called OVS, and I'm not sure where I've put it at the moment, but I gave up on it because I think it's too much for me. No, not necessarily too much for me. I know what it is. I know what the problem is. It was OVS, offset V-stitch. Right, okay, I can do V-stitch. I've been doing V-stitches before. In fact, I think one of them's a V-stitch in that Charlotte. And because I was getting confused, I was running out of stitches, and I thought, why am I running out of stitches? So I actually had to draw it. If I had a chart, I'd be all right. And the only way I could actually make the numbers work is if I treated a chain within the OVS as a stitch, because later on it does become a stitch where it's 2 chains in between the double crochets, and it says it shows you samples of going into the first stitch or the second stitch. It's never the chain space, it's the actual chain. So I figured the only way it actually works out is if I go into the actual chain where it says, and then it seems to calculate, but there's some going this way, because it's offset, some going this way and some going that way, and I'm like, I only drew a few lines, a few rows, and I thought, okay, let's just practice this. And I did some on the Red Heart Super Saver just to mess around. I was doing okay for a few rows, and then I lost it again, and I thought, yeah, because when I first tried it in this yarn, I was getting confused, and I tried to frog it, and there was a bit of clumpy mess at the end, and I had to say goodbye to that bit, and I hate wasting yarn. So that's why I started to mess around with the Red Heart Super Saver. And it just wasn't for me. The pattern was because there's this way and that way, and I like things symmetrical, and I wonder if that's half the problem. Half the problem is I need a chart. I really feel like I need a chart. The written instructions are just too much for me. Normally they're fine, but also it's not symmetrical. Well, it looks symmetrical when you lay it on the floor. When I saw the photo of it laid out on the floor, it looks gorgeous, but the actual process of it made into that is not symmetrical. It's this way and that way and this, and it's too much for my brain. I can't handle it. So I'll give up on that one. Hence the Lion Brand Charlotte, which is working fine. So I've got something through the post today, which I'm really excited about. I've never had these before. Some sock blockers. They're huge. And I thought, really? They're absolutely massive. I think my foot's not that big, and I measure it against mine, and it is. How on earth am I going to put that other sock on there? But it'll go, I'm sure it will. When I looked at these plastic things, I thought, do you know, there was some equipment at the last school I worked at in their technology department, and I'm pretty sure they'd have been able to make something like this. Because I know the kids made stuff with plastic when they did plastic work, which stinks, by the way. Plastic work really stinks because of the cutting of it. Ugh, horrible smell. I'm sure they could make something with that machinery, and I forgot what it's called. They do it on the computer, the CAD cam, and then they go on the actual machine, and well, they send it to the machine, and it basically does it. Very clever. So yeah, that's all familiar to me, this material. I've just come in from being outside, changing the wipers on my car, because I noticed there was this big smear when I was going across, and it wasn't just because the windscreen was dirty. Even when it was cleaned, it was still coming across, and it was worse at night. I could barely see through a windscreen. So I got some new wipers, not just the blades, I've actually got the whole housing. So I managed to put them on the front ones, no problem. Watched a YouTube video, it was an Expert Village one. I wish he showed a video of the rear one, because the one I've seen, it's not of the same car, it's the same make but not model. And I thought, yeah, so far so good. You just have to apply a bit of pressure to get it off, and I can't do the pressure. I daren't. I'm going to break it, because I can't see how that's going to come off. So I'm leaving that. My husband's going to have a look at it, and I want to watch, because I want to do it. And I am really, really annoyed. You know, I've been saying for a while now, we're going to get super fast broadband in November in our area. My husband contacted BT Openreach, and guess what? No, it's going to be another 2 years. I'm really annoyed. You know what's going to happen, don't you? There's going to be something which supersedes this super fast broadband, so it's going to be maybe something like super fast broadband plus, or whatever, or super duper fast broadband. And guess what? They'll roll it out to all the cities and then the towns, and we still won't even have super fast broadband, let alone that new stuff. So that's what's going to happen. How dare they? Who do they think they are? How about we don't pay them for 2 years? That'll be good. Well, that's the whinge over with. So I shall say goodbye until next week. Hope you're all okay and have a good weekend. Take good care, everyone. Bye-bye.